Welcome in, everybody. Hey. I just love this song. Hey. All right. Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sky, and in today's video we are having a girl talk with one of my girls. Her name is Tradia, and Tradia, go ahead and just let the audience know a little something about you, girl.
Let's see, what do you guys want to know? I am currently in Birmingham, Alabama, but I actually live Costa Rica. Not Costa Rica, girl. I live in Colombia. See?
I was gonna say, wait a minute.
I moved again, y'all. See how busy I be? I'm on the go. Just go. I actually live in Colombia, guys, in South America. I am here in Birmingham for a couple more months, and then I'm going to make the official move. I am so excited. Yeah.
Yes, that is so fire. Okay, so you have traveled to over 30 countries. At what age did you start traveling? Like, take us to the beginning so that the people can know. And if you are watching live, can you let us know how the audio is? Like, do I need to change it? Are you guys hearing anybody twice? Keep me posted. Let me know. So yeah, Tradia, turning it over to you. What started your travel journey?
So I guess if we want to get like technical, I'm originally from New York, and we moved from New York to Birmingham, and I absolutely, sorry if you're from the ham, it's not my thing. So I graduated high school. I immediately left and moved to Nashville. That's where I went to undergrad and grad. And then I love Nashville, but my heart was still in New York. So I was like, well, let me get back up north, but not jump into New York by myself. So I moved back to Boston. I moved to Boston. That's where I went to law school. And then from there, I ended up back in.
You can't just speed past you went to law school. Hello. Wait. Slow it down for a little bit. So you went to law school. So you graduated college and then you were moving around, just trying to find your footing where you want to live because you was missing New York. So How did you get into law school? Like, what was that like for you? And hey, Miko, we have Miko watching.
Hey, Miko. So law school was actually, let me tell y'all. So I'm kind of like the girl that I think I'm smart, so I feel like I don't have to study. So I actually wanted to go to law school right after undergrad. And then everybody in my graduating undergrad class was studying for the LSAT. And I'm like, why are you so stressed out? Like, it's just an exam, guys. Like, we'll be just fine. It's not an issue. Y'all, I got into that LSAT. And I said, oh my goodness. I said, oh my goodness. I started looking around and I said, ooh, let me just put C all the way down. They did say put C at some point. I put C all the way down, y'all. So when those results came out, I was like, "Woo, child, let me go to grad school." So since I graduated with honors, I didn't have to take the GRE initially going into grad school. When I got to grad school, I was supposed to be a 2-year program. I was like, I'm going to accelerate this and I'm going to do it in a year. And since I sped everything up, I had to take the GRE. Once again, y'all, everybody was struggling, studying. I said, what y'all stressed out for? It's just an exam, relax. Guys, I got into that GRE. I said, not again, Tradia. Did you do it again? I didn't study again, y'all. So I did not do it on the GRE either. So I took the GRE. I got a statistician and he helped me with the math part. And I did well on the GRE the second time once I studied. So while I was taking the GRE, I actually was retaking the LSAT at the same time. But because I was in my master's program, I was able to go ahead and apply to law school. So I actually got into law school while I was in grad school. And I finished out grad school while I was starting my 1L year at law school. So yeah, study, guys. Don't take your cue from me. I thought where am I so stressed out? And yeah, that's why.
Right, that's why you learned early, huh? You were like,
yeah. I was like, you listen, y'all too stressed out for me. I don't know why. It's just an exam. It's like, yeah, girl, you need this to get in.
You're right. This is not just an exam. This is that exam. Okay.
And then let me tell you, my mom, I got my results the first LSAT. And she said, oh, you did real good. You got over 100. I'm like, Ma, you started with a 120. I got a 120. You get that for writing your name. I said, oh Lord, Ma, you don't know nothing. Let me just She said, you did so good. I'm like, no, ma. I got
Oh
the starting
wow.
score. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now where are you with that? Like, do you still have a passion for it? Or is it something that you have shelved? Like, how explain to the audience where you are right now. I know we're fast tracking a little bit, but let's just get some insight.
Okay, so I'm the girl that went to law school to make no money. I went to law
Okay.
school and I wanted to be a public defender. So I got my
Mm,
undergrad geared towards law. And then when I got the master's, I also really love policy. So I got my master's in public administration. So I knew coming out of school, I was either going to be an attorney, I was going to be a politician. And
wow.
I love to argue.
Let's see.
Right. I love to argue. I love to gather facts. I'm really good knack of looking at things from both sides. And I love to advocate for people. That's just always been my passion. One way or another, I'm loving it. I love to advocate for people. So I went to law school and I said I want to be a public defender. No
Mhm.
money. No money coming, but a public
Yeah.
defender. And
You
that's the
doing that
route
for
that
the
I
heart.
yeah, you got to be for the heart.
Yeah.
Wanting to be a public, nobody wants to be a public defender. I actually wanted to be a public defender, and that's why I went to law school. And I geared my law school career as a public defender. I was on the trial team. I did very well. Law school was
Wow.
amazing for me. I had a ball in law school. I hear a lot of stories, but I had a blast, some of the best times
That's
of
beautiful.
my life in law school. And I worked while I was there. I was on the trial team, and then I worked my entire law school career as well. And during that time, I was at the public
Wow.
defender's office. Yeah, I was at my first year. I worked at Enterprise, and I did 2 internships.
Wait a minute, girl. Enterprise rent a car?
Rent a car, like yeah, we only got 4 cars left. We only got 4 cars left. Yeah, we need
Girl,
yeah.
me
I worked at
too.
Boston Logan Airport at Enterprise. Yes.
Why do we have like I promise you, I was just talking to Miko earlier. So if you guys don't know, we have a Facebook group of YouTube creators. There's 12 of us. It's small, it's intimate, it's like family, but we all met through my channel, which is so funny. I was talking to Miko earlier, who you guys can see her comment on the screen. And I was like, I feel like we all have some type of connection to each other. Like we all like it's just so funny how all
Yep.
12 of us overlap in some type of way. Who would have known that you also worked at Enterprise? Like
Yep. Worked at Enterprise. Yep. And if you know anything about Boston, you know it's a melting pot. So when I had traveled in undergrad, like all of them, none of my friends were from Alabama. They were from Chicago or Indiana. So I started traveling a little bit with them, kind of state. That's kind of how I got my first
okay.
plane ride and stuff like that was in undergrad. When I got to law school, Boston is a melting pot. You got people from so many different places.
I need
Law
to go to
school is
Boston. I
yeah.
haven't gone before. So before you finish that thought, just a little random question. We'll go back to it but I want to put it out there. When you finish that thought, let us know how is Boston for Black individuals, because I've heard that's been like, very interesting. But okay, you said you got to Boston, you were working all of these jobs and you were still practicing law. Okay.
So while I was in Boston, I had a group. I was in BALSA, which is like Black Law Schools, a studio, like association, kind of like the SGA, but for
Okay.
Black people. Because our school, we literally had a handful of Black people. When I say a handful of Black people. So there was this organization. I joined the organization. I was super involved in law school. And I met a ton of people from the islands. That's really it. I was like, oh, okay. I never really had friends from the islands. They could cook, y'all. I'm telling you, they got it on lock. Yes, oh girl, they can. So I actually went to Barbados with them. That was my first real trip, Barbados.
With locals. So that's the best way to travel is when you're going with people that are actually born and raised there and they can take you around. Wow. Okay.
Yes. That was my first real trip. And from there, it was just almost like every 3 or 4 months, I was just out. My next trip was like a 7 8 day cruise
at that time.
So it's an interesting sky. So I left at 17. I graduated my undergrad degree at 20. I graduated with my master's at 21 and graduated law school at 23.
Wow. Oh,
yeah. Yeah. My hair was like, yeah.
y'all know the little tagline.
And at that point, right, at that point, I
Wow,
was
girl.
20. Yeah, I moved. I didn't, I had,
Wow.
I had to go. I said, forget these boys, honey. If they want me now, they gonna really want me later. I said, let me keep my head in the game, family. They could be a distraction.
Yes.
Let me just stay, and that's legit what I did. And at that point,
Wow.
when I went to Barbados, I was 22. I was
Okay.
22. Yeah.
Okay. So you were
And from
22.
Barbados, yep. Go ahead.
And that was that your first out of the country trip, or is that like what really jump started your travel?
That was my first out of the country trip.
Wow, wow. And so you have been moving since, geez Louise, because from there, from then, from 23 to now, going over to 30 different countries plus, right? Because you and you've
Right.
lived overseas. That's a like you've been gone. I love that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got a taste of it and I could not stop. And I could not stop, and I started telling my friends, like, hey guys, y'all need to do this, get them passports. And the year before I graduated law school, I organized a cruise. We left Miami and we went to, I think it was 4 different countries. So I had 3 friends and we went to 4 different
Wow.
countries. Yeah. So I started knocking them out really, really, really quickly. Really
Now,
quickly.
how were you able to afford to travel? And then how did you also have the time to travel at this time at the age of 23?
So at 23, remember, I worked my entire law school career. So once I left Enterprise, Enterprise was my first job when I was in 1L, which was my first year in law school. My second and third year, I worked at a marketing firm and they paid me very, very well. So I worked at the marketing firm. I scheduled all my classes at night. When I would leave the marketing firm, I would go to my internships and I would kind of bounce back and forth. But I really stacked my money. My first year, I did not know a soul in Boston. I did not get my own place. I rented a room for a year. So instead of paying
Okay.
for an entire place by myself, I
Mhm.
found a family and I rented a room. And
Okay.
so where I could have been paying $1,300, $1,400, I was paying
Mhm.
$200. So I was
Right.
able to
Okay.
stack a lot of money, save a lot of money because my money was
Mhm.
really my money. I didn't really have, and it's just, I'm buying groceries for just me. So I didn't
Right.
have utilities and any, I just had to pay my little $200 and I was good. So I had
Okay.
saved a lot of money. Now my second
Gotcha.
and third year, I did move into a place, but I found like a house that kind of was split into 3 different levels. And so they made the attic an apartment, but because it wasn't really an apartment, I was able to negotiate the rent. So I
Okay.
made a jump from
Look at
working at
those
Enterprise to a
negotiation
marketing
skills.
to make, don't make me report y'all because this ain't even really coded right. So I know you're not gonna try to charge me apartment money when this ain't even, I don't think it's supposed to be what it's supposed to be. So when I left Enterprise making, $13, $14 an hour, and then went to a
Mhm.
marketing firm making almost $30 an hour, and I'm
Oh.
still paying little or no rent, I was able
Mhm.
to. And I'm really good with money. I'm really good with budgeting, and I'm really good with money.
That's good.
And I am super. I know we was talking about traveling tips. I'm super creative when it comes to traveling and traveling on a budget. Super creative.
Okay, we'll get into that part. We'll get into that part really soon. So, okay, before you get into the traveling tips, so you were traveling and you had a group of friends. Now, were these group of friends your friends from where? Because you lived in different places. Were they
These
friends from law school?
So this particular group that I did my big cruise with were friends from college who I actually travel with to this day. We're like on year 16
Wow.
or 17 of an annual. We do an annual trip, and we're like on year maybe
Wow.
12 or 13 every July. Every July. The only one we didn't do was COVID, and that was to Aruba, and we had to cancel because of COVID. But every July we go somewhere.
So now, do these group of friends travel as much as you do? Because I understand that your friends are the reason you started your YouTube channel. So we'll get into that as well. But are these group of friends, do they travel as much as you do? And do they also have a channel on YouTube now?
No, none of them have a channel. None of them travel as much as I do.
Okay. Okay. So that's why they were like, girl, you need to start a channel because you be gone all the time.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so
Yeah.
is
I
that the rate?
typically go ahead.
Go ahead. No, no, go ahead.
I typically with so I typically do a small, a medium, and large. And the medium trip people are the ones that said you need a channel. So like a small trip is going to be like my trip to Denver when I go see Usher in 2 weeks. That's small to me. My
Okay,
medium
gotcha.
trip are kind of like a trip to Aruba, Barbados. Those are my medium girls. My
Medium.
big
Okay.
trips are like my continent to
Mm.
continent, like in Africa, like a India. That's a big trip.
Mm.
So I typically
Okay.
do a small, medium, large, and then like a little Atlanta, New Orleans, little stuff like that, sprinkled throughout the
Little
year.
USA pockets. USA pockets.
Yeah,
Okay.
right, right.
Gotcha. Okay. And so now is that where you are right now? Like, well, actually, no, because you have to talk about where you moved to. So where are you at now in the story of your travel journey? So where did you just leave off at?
So in my travel journey, I am in the process of making Colombia my base.
Okay.
I would like to, so I was there for about 90 days and I wanted to, Colombia is somewhere I had been a couple of times. I like South America.
Okay.
So Costa Rica, Colombia, Madrid. I like just, it's something about the culture there.
So
I just loved it. And so
when was the first time you visited there?
2000, maybe 2012.
Oh wow.
Maybe
Okay.
2012, maybe 2012, and then I recently went back um, in 2022. And when I went
Okay.
back 2022, I was like, okay, I need to. I did not. I was there. This was a medium trip, and I did not want to leave. And I was like, guys, I'm just
Ooh,
so depressed that I even had to leave here. Like it was, and it may have been the way they
wow.
treated us because they treated us so nice at that resort. I mean, it was just. And I said, I need to see if this is not just haphazard and just,
Mm.
feeling zenned out after being treated like a queen for a week. I need to see if this is something that somewhere that I could
Mm.
really make my home. And that's what I did. Like I immediately, when I got back from that trip, it took Sky literally 4 days. I booked an Airbnb and was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm
Wow.
just going to do it. I was like, I'm just going to do it.
Now
I
how
didn't tell
long?
friends. I didn't tell
So, okay,
anybody.
wait. Back it up for us. So you went to visit again for like the third or fourth time to Colombia, and you were enjoying yourself you were there for a week. You stayed at a resort and you were like, okay, this feels like, this feels like home. It was, it gave you a feeling. And so you
Hmm.
went back home and then in 4 days you booked an Airbnb. Now, where were you working at this time? How was that possible? Like, give us that
Okay,
story.
so when I moved back, okay, after law school, I moved back to Birmingham. My mom got sick, and long story short, my family had known that she had been sick the whole time I was gone to undergrad. Nobody told me anything. And it was kind of like, well,
Oh,
we
wow.
wanted you to finish out of school and, not be a distraction. So when I graduated law school, I kind of felt like, well, everybody stepped up while I was gone. It's my time. I need to step up and help. And so that's what brought me back to Birmingham.
Gotcha.
So I came back to Birmingham, and after a year or so, my mom started to get better, and I was like, I'm out of here. Let me head back to New York.
Okay.
I got to New York and legit missed my interview. I went up
Mm.
to New York to fly for an interview, and I missed my interview while I was there. And I said,
Wow.
this got to be God. Like, I don't know. How did I fly up here for
Mm.
an interview and I missed my entire
Time.
interview while I was up here? I was like, oh my God. Okay. So I missed
Mhm.
my entire interview. I came back to Birmingham. I could not find a job. So I literally worked at Suzuki, working on commission,
Mm.
making no money. I was getting paid like $2 for every appointment that I set, $5 if they came in.
Wow.
Couldn't find a job. Everybody I interviewed for, they said, were you're kind of intimidating. You got that up north law school degree,
Mm.
and you kind of done that. I had so much experience. They said I had done so much more than people that had been in. I was like, listen, I ain't trying to get y'all a
Mm.
job. I'm trying to get a job. I work from the bottom. and now I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to get a
Being
job.
overqualified is something that people don't talk about enough. Like if you're overqualified, they will not hire you at a lot of places. Like you said, they're intimidated.
Yeah, very much so. So I started taking my degrees off my resumes, and that's how I got at call center. And when I got to the call center, they're like, "Wow, you seem really educated. You don't want to go to college?" And I was like, "Well, actually, I have 3 college degrees." It's like, "It's not on here." I'm like, "Yeah, you wouldn't even call me in. I'm trying to get in the door. Like, sit me at a cubicle. I'm fine with it. And I can work my way to get to compliance. Like, I'm not trying to run the company." Yeah, so I dealt with that for a very long time. I ended up at a law firm, a really big law firm here. And although I'm not licensed in Alabama, they paid me like I was. So at this law firm, when new hires came in, they would send the entire firm the resumes. And I saw on a resume, CASA, which was a court-appointed special advocate. I said, this seems interesting. Let me Google it. Googled it, found out it was at family court. And I'm like, that's my way back into what I love, advocating. And so I legit emailed the new hire and said, "Hey, I saw this on your resume. Can you tell me a little bit more about it?" She did. I started volunteering at family court. And I started stacking my money at the law firm. I said, at some point, a position will come open at family court, and I'm going to take a major pay cut. So I immediately started working overtime, stacking my money. Didn't take long for a position to become available. Became available. I knew I was taking a pay cut, and I'm like, this is my end. So I got into family court, became super known around the courthouse. I said, you know what? Let me figure out how much Medicaid is paying for each client that I'm actually seeing being paid $15. Let me see how much Medicaid actually pays. I said, okay, Medicaid is paying, let's just say $112 for an hour for each client. I'm getting paid $15.
Right.
No, let me give us. I started volunteering with another company. I said, let me get in, let me volunteer, let me learn the systems and learn how to bill for Medicaid.
Girl, look at you.
Once I got in, I learned the systems, learned how to bill with Medicaid. I had made myself so well known and so important in certain cases. Like I made it so that the cases wouldn't be able to move flawlessly if they removed me for the case. I said, now is my opportunity.
You're an asset.
I went to there you go. Not easily replaceable. Getting information that these other attorneys can't get in. Why? Because I'm a Black girl that looks like she's about 15 and you're a big white man. So people are going to be more willing to talk to me than they're going to be willing to talk to you. That's just what it is, especially in this type of legal avenue. And so I literally said, I'm going to start my own company. Started my own company. Provided services that I knew the competition didn't provide because I had already volunteered with. So I knew what you didn't provide. So I'm gonna provide what you don't provide. And because I had already made myself known in cases, I was able to walk off with my cases. So I didn't have to, when most people start a company, they have to build clientele. I didn't have to do that because I already had talked to the attorneys and judges like, listen, I'm gonna take my cases with me. They like, okay, cool, bill by myself. So that's how I was able to really start stacking some money and kind of make my own. You asked about like the time available. That's how, because I was able to make my own schedule. I was able to schedule my clients when I wanted to schedule them. I was able to have court dates set up around my schedule, and that's how I was able to still travel.
Okay, so you were you were still traveling during that time. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay, and so where are you now? How did you get to where you are today?
Okay, so now when I left for Columbia, I stopped the company altogether because I'm a one woman show. It's just me. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop taking cases, but left on super good terms. So I'm gonna stop taking cases. But I also knew that as an attorney, there's tons of things you can do online. You can do compliance, you can do accounting. I'm like, all that stuff sounds real stressful. I don't want to do that. But what I will do is some doc review. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. It seems like I'm gonna have to be trained and learn your systems, and I don't want to do that. So I thought about, okay, well, maybe I can do doc review. So doc review is just where you go in, it's you and like maybe 50 other attorneys. You guys are all working on the same cases. There's a queue, and you go in and you pull documents, and you go through and you just sift through and you figure out what's able to be used at court, what can't be used, what's privileged, what's responsive, based on based on the case. So I'm like, I can
Yeah.
do this in my sleep, and I can literally do
Oh,
it in my
period.
sleep. So I said, let me pick up doc review cases. And so
Mhm.
that's what I do even to this day. I still do doc review
Wow.
cases. Now coming
Okay.
back, and I did it while I was in Columbia. Coming back
So
from Columbia, having this,
that's a
yes,
remote role. Okay, gotcha.
yes.
Mm.
And they have
Well,
some
might need
that's
to check it
in,
out.
in the office, but no, I need remote. I need to be able to take my little computer with me on all the flights and all the beaches and everything else. If I'm just bored and I pull out and that's another thing with doc review, there's no set hours. There's no set
Mm.
hours. You can work as many hours as you want to work, and you working independently. You don't have to deal with the emails. Just do your documents and just log off. And no one is saying, you need to log back on or this is this. I don't have to deal with any of that. So that's really been like my bread and butter. Now, when I
Mm.
came back from Columbia
Oh, that's
and
key.
I realized I had to stay a little longer, I started picking
Mhm.
cases up again. So now I'm like picking
Mm.
cases. So now I'm back, still doing what I love, which
That's
courtroom is
beautiful.
my life. Yeah,
Mhm.
the courtroom is my life. I would do it any
Oh,
day of the
girl,
week, and I
yeah.
never ever feel like I'm working. I love helping families, and so I never feel like I'm working ever. So I
Wow.
mean, it just kind of worked out, and it still gives me the flexibility to kind of do what I want to do.
That's beautiful. Girl, that
Yeah,
is I didn't even know all of that, and we have been connected now for a few months, so that's beautiful. Ooh, I hope everybody in
yeah.
our group watches this because that is so phenomenal, girl. Like, you are literally helping so many families. I didn't even know that you're in my eyes, Imma call you a lawyer, okay? You is practicing
Okay, you
law.
better say it, girl. That degree
Listen, okay?
say.
Listen, my sister is a lawyer, okay? She's helping families, and
Say
like
it
you said,
again
what
for the
I
people in the
do
back, baby.
with a
Hmm.
bag, and you got in it for so many of the right reasons, and it was to help people, and I feel as though that is a testament to who you are just as a person, and it makes so much sense of why you have this big heart because, there's so much in our personal lives that people don't know,
Hmm.
but you have a really big heart. You really help people, your family, your friends, and so that's phenomenal. Okay, so that's the story. Is there anything you want to share in that story or a story time as far as like your timeline, your journey to where you are today, or do you want to hop into like the travel tips and stuff?
The only thing I
Because
would
I know
say
you got story
is, girl, listen. The only thing I can say about that part of my life is do not chase money. The
time.
money will come. The money will come. Do not chase money. The money. I'm telling you,
Girl.
I literally was selling as an attorney. I was literally selling cars at Suzuki, working based off commission. The money will come.
Yeah.
Follow your passion, follow your heart. That money is
Mm.
going to start to come. That's my biggest piece of advice. Don't get caught in that rat race, because it's when you get
Girl.
in it and you get used to that money, it's hard to pull yourself up out of there and
Yes.
believe in yourself and step out on faith. It's hard. So don't
You become a
follow the
number.
money. Yeah.
Yes, I gotta
Yes.
piggyback off of that. When you get caught up in corporate America and the money, you become a number rather than
Yep.
like the person that your family and friends knew that you always wanted to be and the dreams you always wanted to have. Like, people keep pushing them back and pushing them back and pushing them back until, something happens like a layoff or, a termination. And then they're forced to have that shift in life instead of like actually listening to themselves and taking that initiative on their own. So I'm a big advocate of following your dreams, okay? Because like you said, the money will come.
Hmm.
It takes time, but at the end of the day, listen, you it time is gone. Once it's gone, you can never get
Yep.
that back. And we have more
Yep.
energy in our 20s and in our 30s than, once you retire in your 40s and 50s. By that time you probably won't even have that same dream. You said you chasing
Exactly.
every dollar you can get. Just playing you right. Money can become a god, yeah, and that's not good. Exactly. Don't worship the money. No,
Hmm.
enjoy your time, your freedom, and your
Yep.
passion, especially. And I really find that because a lot of people have been talking about their passions and callings. Even when I was watching the show Pop the Balloon, like they were asking those questions. A lot of times people have these dreams, and the dreams are to help other people. Even if it's trying to be like someone in the entertainment industry, a lot of times people want to help others. And it's like, if you feel as though you don't have the time for that because of a job you're working, when God has put on your mind and on your heart a dream that's going to actually change the world, or at least
Yep.
play a big role in changing the world, come on now. You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta do that.
Listen, you better
Or
say it again. You better say
yeah,
it again. I will tell anybody, I do not, and it kind of segues into the travel. I refuse to believe, I don't care what you believe and who you believe in, I refuse to believe that any of us were put here to work all day, night and day, blood, sweat, and tears, for a lot of times jobs and companies we don't like, that don't matter, that don't care about us, to pay bills that we got, trying to get to the dollar. It's like I feel like we are working hard to get a promotion to pay bills. We're not even working hard to get a promotion to live life. We're working
yeah.
hard to pay bills because insurance has gone up. So it's
Mhm.
more work, more time away from your family, more time away from yourself, more time not living life. And I don't believe that we have been created and put on this
Mhm.
big old world to sit around and pay bills
No.
and work into every single day. That's just not gonna work for me. They're just not
Yeah.
gonna work for me.
There's more to life. There's more to life. And
Much more.
the other part of that, which since you travel, is that that's not everywhere, right? There's some places where, you know, jobs don't even like exist. It's like trade. It's like ways of life. It's
Hmm.
how they profit or how they get the things that they need, because we work, like you said, for things. We work for things so that we can have food, water, shelter, nice things, lavish things, materialistic things. When in other places, it's like they just trade for those things, and now their day-to-day lives may seem a lot more different from ours because they have to really go out and get those things. But when you think about it, it's like we're still trading our time for something. And the more you travel the world, the more you realize that it's like you said, it's a rat race. It's like a game. It's like a pyramid, or like a maze, and we're just in it,
Yeah.
scrambling, doing the same thing every single day, and not
Yeah.
even realizing that someone created. It's a system that somebody
Yeah.
created, and you got to think outside of the box. If you want to be an American or live in one of these countries, obviously you got to play the game, but just don't let the game play you. Is what we're saying. Like, you
Exactly.
got to be aware of it, and you got to take some type of initiative if you're willing to work hard, essentially, because when
Right.
you're working for yourself, it is hard work in the beginning, but like you said, once that money comes, it's there, and it's not even just the money, it's the freedom,
Yep.
most
Yep.
importantly, because that's like my big word is freedom.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
you got to know
especially like, and in this world, financial freedom is important. It's hard.
yes,
You don't sleep easy. People say that money isn't everything. Well, you need money to for sure live. I mean, I'm not saying it's
right,
everything, but it is important. It is important, and it's about how you spend your money and what you value as important. What you value as important, or what you valued as important 10 years ago might not be the same at
hmm,
from 20 to 30. Those things may change. Life happens, things happen, and your
exactly,
outlook and your perspective and on life, it changes, and you begin to value things differently. If you didn't have a kid in your 20s, now
yeah,
you got one at 30, but now your value is different because you have to provide for a kid, and so
yes,
your priorities shift and change. You can't buy
mhm,
XYZ because you have to provide for a kid. You can't just get up and
yeah,
go whatever because you have to provide for a kid. So it is insane, the amount of
yeah,
the amount, the number of experiences that I've had that have literally shaped and reshaped my way of thinking. It's and
mm,
I wouldn't have the mindset that I have if I didn't travel. It's a
mhm,
fact. I wouldn't think the way that I think if I hadn't seen so many different parts of the world, and different cultures, and how the people live and what they value compared to what we value or what I value. Like, it's amazing. It's yeah.
yeah. No, that's
I have
beautiful. Yeah.
made the world my classroom.
Hey, there you go. And speaking of the world, perfect segue. What is some of your favorite travel tips that like you feel like you have to put people on to? Any type
Groupon,
of travel tips. Groupon.
Groupon. Groupon. Let me tell y'all. See,
Okay.
again, I started years ago. Now, and
Okay.
I hate to come after us, but you know, us, we think everything. No, that don't seem right. That don't seem legit. My first three big trips: Africa, India, China, Groupon, Dubai, Groupon. The
Really?
Groupon, yes.
Okay.
So
Groupon.
there are kickers with it. So with
Mhm.
Groupon, if you go on Groupon and you put it, let's say you put in international travel or India or New Delhi or whatever, they're gonna
Mhm.
they're gonna ping a lot of different Groupons, different coupons. When you click on the coupon, if you go to the bottom of the page, you'll see that the Groupon is being sponsored by a travel company or a travel agency. You purchase the
Okay.
Groupon, you then use that Groupon, you contact the travel
Mhm.
agency, and then you go in and select your days and the insurance, or if you want excursions, XYZ. The
Mm.
kicker, the caveat to Groupon is you
Okay.
must have the money. You must have the money. So if the
Like
Groupon,
upfront.
so upfront. So if the
Okay.
Groupon is and they break it down for you. Like my Dubai trip. My Dubai trip was valued at $27.99. So $2,799, $2,800. My girl
Mhm.
who I do my big trips with, shout out to her, she's also an attorney. She lives in Nashville.
Mhm.
So we find them and then we catch them on like Black Fridays, Labor
Mm.
Day, Memorial Day.
Okay.
The same deals like the $39 Flash Southwest. We would
Mhm.
be on Groupon. We would be on Groupon looking. So a $2,700 value trip we was able to get for $1,000. We was like, so
Mm.
the kicker is you just gotta have $1,000. So you gotta
Okay.
make sure you're doing the Groupon deals with somebody that's also not in financial ruins. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do it with your homegirls when y'all want to cut down. And ain't nothing wrong with, because I got some budget friendly, hey, this payment plan. I got those tips and tricks too. But with those
Right.
Groupon ones, that's the most bang for your buck, hands down.
Okay. Now,
Hands
question for
down.
you. With that $1,000 trip, was it for one person or like what was included in that package so people can have an idea of what to look for on Groupon for these deals where you saved $1,800?
So it would be $999 or $1,000 per person, but
Okay.
the $1,000 includes the entire stay. So if you're going from hotel to hotel, it's covering both hotels. It's covering the transfer in between the hotels. It's covering the
Mhm.
meals. It's covering the flight and the flights you can choose where you would want to fly. We've
Oh,
flown from Chicago, New York, LA. So it just depends
okay.
on where you fly from. Those are
Good.
the little factors that may take it from 1,000. If you flying from LA, you ain't gonna get the same deal you getting flying from Chicago. Chicago gonna be 1,000, but from LA it's gonna be 1,300. I mean, it's LA. You
Mhm.
can't,
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
those
exactly.
little things it might change, but other than that, it's per person, but it includes everything. It includes everything.
Wow.
If you have to fly from like with the India trip, we flew from, I think it was New York, but we had to go through China and catch a flight from China to India. All of that was covered.
Wow.
I mean, the Dubai trip included excursions through the desert and ATVs, riding camels. It included all of that, meals for $1,000.
For $1,000. That's
And we
the
was there for
thing.
9 days. 9 days.
Girl, I spent way more
You
than
spending
that
more than that
on
in
New York
Miami.
City.
You spending more than that in Miami. Go to my
Yeah,
South
I
Beach and see,
spent
don't
more
you
than
spend
that in New
$1,000 in a
York.
weekend. You're gonna spend
Yeah.
that in Miami.
Yeah, I spent that in New York
So
City easily.
yes,
That's crazy.
Groupon. That's my biggest tip.
Groupon. I gotta
Groupon.
tell my mom that because she travels a lot. She travel more than anybody I know. And yeah, Black Friday sales via Groupon. That's tea. So okay, now when you say you have to have the money up front, can somebody use like a credit card?
Yes.
Okay,
So
got it.
typically, one of us will put it on a credit card. And I mean, it's your mom. So I mean, mom will give you $250 every week or two.
Right.
You
Everybody
see,
do
so
their
you
own.
really technically, there you go.
You can
There
still
you
do
got
like
it.
payment plans with that. Yeah. Wow.
And that
Okay. I
and
did
now
not
and
know
now they got a firm, they got Klarna. Back then they didn't have Klarna
that.
paying for it, they didn't have a firm, they didn't have none of that back then.
Right.
So
Right.
now with those things, they pay for
Mhm.
it for you up front, and then you pay a firm if you want to do it in 12 months, 6 months, 9 months, you paying $79. So you already done went on the trip, and you come back and you still paying it. So back then they didn't have that, but now they do.
Wow, that is tea. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Gotcha.
yeah.
Huh. Okay. Okay. So,
I see you over there thinking,
girl, I'm like, I did
ain't nobody
not.
told me nothing. You said ain't nobody told me nothing about no Groupon.
Especially because I use it for like spas and stuff. So I can only imagine, like, I never thought to look for spa packages in like other countries and things of that nature. And Groupon always have sales. So I'm just
Yep.
like, I already know that what you're saying is like straight game. So I hope that y'all are picking up on what I'm picking up, because I'm in my brain, I'm over here like, because yeah, I got some trips that I have planned, that I have on the agenda, but I haven't planned them yet. So I'm like, okay, that's tea. I'm definitely going to check that out. So, what's another tip that you have for us for travel? It could be anything as far as budget or packing, airline, flight deals. So, what's another one?
I would say for trips, another big one is plan early. Plan early. Don't, I
Okay.
mean, if you got it, you got it. But planning early, you will always save money planning early. You're going to save it on the front end or you're going to save it on the back end, but you are going to save planning early.
And now,
Um,
how early are
uh,
you talking? Like a year in advance?
So I book all of our July travel. I always I send a text message. I usually narrow down. I start early because I'm doing all the research. So after when we're at the airport discussing how great we had of a trip, I give them 4 different places. Like, hey, these are the places I'm thinking about going next year. Around
Mhm.
October, I send a hey, nobody's pregnant, right? We need to make sure we still got 4 people. I mean, that's gonna mess with the numbers if somebody's pregnant. That's all I'm saying. I mean,
That's
we're
the
not doing
age
all
you're at
inclusive
now.
anymore. Like, what's going on? But by
Yeah.
February, I'm sending them like numbers. Like, hey, these are the numbers. By March 15th, we're going to be putting down a deposit. And typically, I'll put the deposit down, especially if I find it's because I'll go from that. And that's something I became a travel agent, and with that, I'm able to tap into different systems that people that are not agents tap in, that they don't have. Y'all don't have access to it unless you have that agent number. So deals that I have
When did
access
you do
to,
that? When did you get your
I
agent
did
number?
that during COVID. I was like not bored, but I'm like, I can only do telehealth with my clients. So I'm like, okay, I became a travel agent.
Mhm.
I flipped 3 houses, and I became a parent instructor. So I could do like parenting classes via Zoom as a group. So although I'm charging per
Mm.
person, I'm only doing one class. And I was able to do telehealth. So I'm like, win. So
Period.
I'm
Girl,
like,
you's a hustler.
brain always just, if I
Yeah.
can get this YouTube, if I had the same passion for YouTube, I'll probably be on the money. Probably have me a jet. I
Girl,
just got to figure out.
I'm over here like, I can't believe that you have all of this and you ain't put it or packaged it on YouTube, because you will 10x your income. Okay. You have so much knowledge to teach people, so much value, so much
Yeah,
story and experience to share. Like, girl,
yeah, yeah,
now I'm gonna
yeah.
be on you 10 times more.
Yeah, you are. Yeah,
Because girl,
yeah.
yeah, like you really, but no, like seriously, sis, you have a lot to share. And being that the things that you have to share are of value, you can really 10x your income. Like, I know you good. However, I can see you
Yeah,
doing a lot of partnerships and brand deals, even in Colombia. I see you bridging the gap between Black Americans who want to travel to Colombia and actually, you're like, girl, there's
yeah,
so much you could be doing with your channel, because yes, we can make money, on individually and how you've been doing it. But when you expand and you're reaching people on an international level,
right.
it's unlimited.
Yeah,
It's really unlimited. There is no limit to how much money you can make in a space like YouTube, when you have that much already in your bag to share.
right.
Yeah,
You're right.
girl.
I can't argue with that. I just, yeah, I cannot argue with that. I cannot. I can literally sit here for days. I can give you a quick flight tip too.
Oh.
When you book your flights, don't use your points to book the flight. Use your points on the back end. Now, some people will use all their points to just actually get the flight. No, use your points on the back end because you use your points to upgrade you. I've been upgraded literally, but because you got the upgrade is going to be usually much higher than the actual flight. If your flight is $150, I'm sure you got enough points to cover $150, but you don't really want that. You want to pay the $150 and pay for the $300 upgrade with your points. So don't use your points to pay for your flight. Use your points to pay for your upgrade, and do not upgrade until closer to the time that you are about to check in. Wait, because when you wait, they don't want to, where they in the beginning, when you first book, if you book 6 months out, they, the upgrade is going to be higher. But towards 2 weeks into it, they don't want that seat to be empty. So they'll bring that upgrade amount down.
Wow.
That's when you do your upgrade.
Okay.
That's when you do, because they would rather have a $200 somebody versus when they was asking you for $800 in the beginning. You ain't gonna buy it. But if you wait 2 weeks, they would rather not have that seat empty. So they'll sell it to you for much lower to get that seat filled.
That makes sense too, because that makes me even think about how when those seats are empty the day of your flight, the people they choose to upgrade. And I feel like the people that I see travel a lot, like influencers, content creators, models, actors and stuff, they always get upgraded. And it's probably because they have a lot of points.
That's exactly why, because they're being flying. They're being flued out. They're being flued out everywhere. Everybody flying them out. So they flying everywhere, and they're not paying for these flights. So even if you don't pay for the flight, even though your credit card number's on it, your rewards number is attached to that flight. So you're still getting the points.
Yep.
And so they would rather upgrade that person than a person that only has 10,000 points. So you stack your points, because your points are essentially dollars. But people don't look at it like they're like, I don't need to add my rapper reward number. Yeah, you do. Those are points equal dollars. I'm gonna attach mine. I don't care if the flight ain't but $39. I need my 39 points.
Yeah, exactly. Every time. Yeah. That's tea. Okay. Okay. Now, what about some packing tips or some travel tips? Like, what are some essentials that you always have to have? Like something of that nature.
Packing tips, 1000% say packing cubes. 1000% use packing cubes. Do not just put your clothes in the luggage. Use packing cubes. With the cubes, one is better for organization. You can say my shorts with my shorts, my pajamas with my pajamas. It's easier to transfer out. Like if you're going somewhere, like when I go places, I'm like, I live here for the week, so I'm taking my stuff out the luggage. I live here. It's easy to, transfer your stuff from the luggage to the hangers, or from the luggage to the, wherever you setting your stuff up. It's easier when you have packing cubes. I would say packing cubes. I would say I personally like bigger luggage. I would rather have one big luggage than 3 small ones. That's just me. And I would rather pay. Yes, I check my bag. And there's so many different ways to get around not paying that fee. We ain't gonna go into that. But yes, I check.
Okay, she gonna drop that on her channel, y'all. She gonna drop that on her channel.
Yeah, so many ways to get around not paying that fee. But yes, I check my bag. If I'm checking a bag, when I check a bag, I always, for my carry-on, I have my laptop, chargers, guys. I never charge my stuff, but I'm telling you, you need chargers. I have my laptop. I have both of my phones, my chargers. I always have a spare set of clothes, just in case my luggage is lost. I have something to change into.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't think like that. No, put some. I mean, take the makeup out and put you some tights in there, tights and pants. Put you something in there so that if your luggage is lost, you have something to change into when you return the next day to get your luggage.
Because a beat face like those, nothing in comparison to no clean draws.
Trying to tell you, now you got to go out here and spend money when you could have just packed you some tights in the tank, girl. Could have packed you some move that compact over, pack you some tights in the tank. That's to
Even a
me,
little
that's
bodysuit.
key, especially.
Yeah,
Huh?
even a little bodysuit, little
Yeah.
situation.
Yes, yes, yes. And you know, you can roll those up. They're so small, you can roll those up, stuff that on
Oh,
the side. Like it's as
yeah,
big as this bubbly bottle. Once you roll it up, it's this, and you
got
stuff it to the side. I would definitely
you.
say that for international trips, even
I
if
gotta
you're
get
sitting
more.
in huh, if you're in international, like the Africa, even if you're sitting in the back, they're gonna give you a little, I guess you could say, like a makeup kit where it has toothpaste, a toothbrush, the eye mask,
Mm,
socks, a rag, lotion. They'll give you
mhm,
stuff like that, even if you're sitting in economy. Now you sit up there in the front. Now you getting slippers, blanket. I'm talking about real
mm.
nice. You getting real nice stuff up there in that
Royal treatment,
business.
man.
Yeah, man. I got
Mm.
left one time and they forwarded us to Japan, and somehow me and my girl ended up on first class. I said, I can't go back. I said, I don't mean no harm, y'all, but I don't know how we got up here, but I can't go back and ride in the back no more. I
Mm,
can't
mm,
ride in
mm,
the back.
mm,
I
mm.
can't even ride in the back. But yes, they're going to give you, if you're in an international trip, they're going to give you that kit. So you don't have to pack that in an international trip. You can leave that in check because they'll give you that little bag international period.
Okay, gotcha. That's a good
Yeah.
tip, y'all. That's a good tip. Make sure y'all keep that one. So now, being that we're talking about luggage, give us a story time, if ever, if your luggage has been like lost completely or delayed and you freaked out. Like, what was that like? Or even lost and then found maybe a week or two later. Give us one of those story times.
Knock on wood, y'all. My luggage has never been lost, delayed, never,
Yes. Okay, so who do you fly
never.
primarily? Like, who you be flying? Who you got the most
Primarily Delta. I
Okay.
primarily fly Delta, but when you do like those internationals, it'll be like Air China or Dubai's, like I think it's Emirates, something like that. So those bigger ones, they'll be like specific to those that continent, that country. But for the primarily, I'll do Delta. I don't mind American either. But
Okay.
my luggage has never been lost.
Praise God. Hey, that's a
I
good thing.
say
So,
that. Hmm.
okay, amen. So what is like you fly primarily Delta. What would you say sets them apart from like the other airlines? Like why are they your favorite? Because I like to ask this question. Because I'm one of those people that I like to stick with my people too, but I have my reasoning. So why Delta for you?
Their snacks. The snacks.
Mm,
Um, if we're not if we can't get business, because we're
mm-hmm.
not crazy. We ain't paying $10,000 for no first
Right.
class, but we will
Yeah.
pay 3 for business. But some airlines don't have business. It skips it. It's like
Right.
economy, premium economy first. That's all your options.
Yeah.
So if we get the premium, their premium economy is very, very similar to business. And in terms
Mm,
of like leg room, width of the chair, treatment, um,
mm.
movie selections,
They
cleanliness, Delta is killing American, killing it.
yeah,
They killing them.
yeah, yeah.
So
They do
I
really
would
good.
definitely say Delta.
Okay, got you. Now, you said on your channel that's where you're gonna drop the tip of how to get around the big luggage, the little big luggage cost.
The fees.
What do you said what you brought onto the plane, but like, are you bringing like a book bag or are you bringing a smaller suitcase because you say you don't like a lot of bags? So, what is like your carry on? What does the carry on look like for someone like you who's traveling this much?
I'll have a crossbody or a fanny pack. And that's going to be like my passport, my license, my money, my lip gloss, my
Okay.
phones, and I have a book bag, and that's it. In my book bag, I have my laptop. I have a any travel documents that I have that I need. I'm gonna have a book, the change of clothes, and that's
Okay.
it. I'm a minimalist at heart. I am very good at
Okay.
packing and not overpacking. I'm not pack. And back in the day in college and things, I would pack 35 outfits for like a week and a half. Get there,
Yeah.
you ain't win but the 7, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna pack 9. If I'm there for a week, I'm gonna pack 9 outfits, and what I'm gonna wear is one way. I'm like, listen, and my motto is they're gonna choose, they're gonna choose. They're gonna choose this tight, this dress, this shorts, but I ain't trying to look all this stuff. And to be honest, when I go to the airport, I'm prepared to run. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who I'm sitting by. I ain't in no heels. I ain't in no flowy dress. No, I'm ready to rumble and I'm ready to run if need be. That's just
Okay.
that's just how I travel. I'm gonna have on me a hat just because I feel like when I put on my hat, I'm invisible. Please don't talk to me type situation. I think I'm gonna get one that says TV travel shenanigans on and wear that thing around the airport and just walk around at this point. But like I'm real.
That is so smart. And have a QR code on the back.
Yep.
Period.
You ain't got to talk to me. Just scan my back and look at my hat and leave me alone. Yeah.
I need to put one on my little backpack and on the luggage.
At this point, yeah. So I'm real like, and I'm not basic. None of my stuff is. I'm not basic, but I am very minimal. I don't have 6 lotions. You know, people packing and they got 6 luggage because you got 7 lotions. Why you got 7 lotions? I ain't getting why you got 7 lotions. I don't get that. I'm gonna bring Nivea and we gonna rock out. Like I don't. So I'm not the girl like.
Yeah, if you're not an influencer who's getting those PR packages for free, because like you said, people will have all that stuff and then not be able to travel. Can't afford to travel, can't afford to take a trip, or can't afford to ever just leave their hometown. But you got every single
you just spent $300.
Yeah,
why you got 7
cents?
What's going on?
Yeah.
And then why you got 7 cents going to Caribbean? Girl, you're gonna be a mosquito magnet. Those scents are going to draw them to you. You need to be real basic, real cocoa butter. Like I don't get where you headed, but okay, if that's what you want. Real shea butter is what you need to be smelling like, not
real
pineapple
natural girl stuff, not hot girl stuff. Real natural girl stuff.
Yeah, not kind candy, but okay.
Right. And that leads me to the question of, so when you are traveling to, some of these countries that don't have the best reputation or things of that nature, are you conscious of what you're wearing and what you're bringing? Like, are you not bringing your good stuff? Because I remember in one of our meetings, you had said that you sold like a lot of your designer stuff. So what's that like? What's that decision process like when you're going to a country that doesn't have the best reputation?
Okay, so my friend that's an attorney in Nashville, if you see us, one of us don't belong. She's 1000% Carlton and I'm 1000% Will Smith. Everywhere we go, it don't matter if it's Africa, Dubai, India. I'm Will, she Carlton. It's like, wait a minute, where's she going and where's she going? They together? No way, because this girl got on sweats and tights and shorts and a hat, and this girl got on loafers, a cardigan, that thing's tied right there, and it's like she got on a pencil skirt. But we walk in the Great Wall, Great Wall of China. So I don't know what's that's legit us. When it comes to places where it's not the best. Let's do India. India is a third world country and it's like extreme. We went to 4 different cities in India. We were in India for 19 days. One of the best trips, hands down, top 3. It was extremely poor over there. And we knew that going over there. So I'm not going to wear Gucci, Louis, Prada over there. It's just a sensitivity to me. I'm conscious of your day to day. And I don't want to stand out in that way. I'm already going to stand out. Go to China and listen, I'm a Black girl with braids. They don't see Black people unless they on TV, so I'm going to stick out. I'm going to stick out by virtue of who I am. Just, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to do anything other than what I can't help to stick out. I don't need to, like in my mind, I don't need to impress anyone. I don't need to. And I feel like that's like the biggest thing here in Colombia, here in other places. I don't feel the need to show anyone what I have. First of all, I don't live here. Second of all, y'all don't care. You see what I'm saying? And that's always my mindset going in. Y'all don't know me. Y'all don't care. I'm never going to see y'all again. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And if y'all are trying to take a picture of me, it's not because I have on Gucci. It's because I'm a black girl with braids, and you've never seen a live black girl with braids. Not because you've never seen Gucci. So for me, I don't even really, and it's not to say that I don't wear it, but I'm also not the girl that is going to have the signature Gucci on. You won't know it's Gucci unless you really look at my soles of my shoe. So
Right,
that
okay.
is that as well. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the Gucci logos on my stuff. I don't have the Louis logos on my stuff. It's a clutch. I mean, but
You're like
other
that
than that, I'm
quiet
not.
luxury.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very conscious of that, especially when I'm in areas that's like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't, I'm already being looked at. I don't want to be looked at and be a target. I need to look real Walmart-ish, real Target. And that's the look I'm going for here.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. So when you so take us back to the story time of when you moved to Colombia for the longest period, like the last time you were just there, the longest time you were there. What was it like preparing for that? Like, how did you find a residence? How did you get around? Give us some insight into that trip.
Preparing. So after the 4 days and I came home and I booked, I immediately got on YouTube. I did not, I still hadn't started a channel, but I think his name is AK Joel. He lives in Colombia, and I started watching all of his videos. And then I got in his comments, and then I saw people who were also there who were watching the videos. And then I went to their page, and I did extensive research on good areas versus bad areas, areas where there are other expats or nomads, areas that are walkable, areas that are hilly, areas that, you know, the drugs, the cartel. Like I did that type of research. In my mind, I'm thinking I want to go where the drugs are. I want to stay in the area where the drugs are. And that's what I did. I stayed in the area where the drugs are because I knew that if I'm in the area where the drugs are, the police are less likely to be there. If we know there's an area that's highly populated. So what's the guy's name?
Wait. Why do you want to be in an area where the police are not?
I don't want to be where the police are constantly going to be. Where the police are is danger. That's the dangerous place. If the police are constantly there, I'm like, I don't want to be where the police are always here. Why are the police always over here? Send me to the place where the police are not coming, where they're not going to be. If I'm in an area, exactly, and I wanted to hide in plain sight. Honestly, let me go where I know is the most protected area, which is the drug area. Because the police are not coming there. The police are going to the people that's leaving the drug area, going to the city. So I didn't stay in the city, and I knew I didn't want to stay in the city. I wanted to stay on the outskirts where I felt like the people are mostly protected. And that's what I did.
Because it's another level of policing happening.
You got to know that if I'm running a drug area and I got a drug mule or a drug person and they're bringing heat my way, this person got to go. You know what I'm saying? You don't bring the police here. Don't bring the drama here. Take the drama out. Take the drama out. So I felt like, let me get in this area where I feel like I'm more protected. You guys are probably more likely to protect your area than the areas that you're delivering to. I don't want to go where you're delivering
farmland. It's kind of like farmland where you like, okay, they gonna protect the crops. People not robbing the farmer, people robbing the grocery store. Like
correct. Send me over here where the crops at, not the grocery store. I don't need to go where the grocery store is where y'all getting it up over there. Y'all drink. No, I don't want to go there. I'll travel in there like they traveling drugs. I stay out. And that's what I did. I stayed out.
Yeah. Okay.
I immediately started looking at the areas and I said, wait a minute, I think the big drug guy on TV, I think he live in this area. This one will be. And that's exactly I think his family might live over here too. So I know he's gonna protect. I know he gonna put his family in danger. Therefore, I'm protected. And that's what I did.
Right.
And that's exactly where I went. And I paid more because I could have lived in the city. When I was doing my research, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I could live in Medellin, which is the like the biggest, place that most people. I could live in Medellin, and I could pay $350, and it's not project-ish. It's livable. It's just me. I can pay $350 a month, or I can pay $700 and live out here with the drug people and be protected. And that's what I did. I said I paid the $700, and that's literally how I decided where did I want to live, in terms of in the city, outside of the city, which side of the city, the west side versus the east side versus the north side. That's how I decided.
Did you ever upload onto your channel a apartment tour?
I did.
Okay. Oh,
Yep.
I haven't seen that one. I saw you do the outside tour, but yeah, okay, I gotta go watch that one. So when you got there, how did you travel? Like, what was your day-to-day like, getting to groceries or doing things for fun? What was that like?
When I got there, it took maybe 3 days, and I said, okay, Tradea, you live here. Act like you live here. And that's exactly what I did. I knew after I visited there, my mode of transportation, I wanted it to be Uber versus a taxi, because Uber, if something happened to me, people could say, well, her last Uber ride was here, versus, hey, taxi. I knew you could check my debit card. You could, and I made sure when I got there, I said, I'm gonna do everything on a credit card. People can track me on my credit. Her credit card is not being used. Something is off. Credit card is usually used 4 times a day, and it's not. So I knew that safety issues, and safety concerns, that was my major thing. Making sure I did Ubers, and that's what I did the entire time. I wanted to take the bus there, I didn't get a chance to, and I wanted to take the train there, and I didn't get a chance to. But in terms of day to day, I lived there like I would live here, except for the fact, if you watch the video of my very first night there, I learned a very valuable lesson about just slowing down and how much we don't realize over here we are go, 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 go. We think we're on go times 10. We're on go times 1,000. And I had to get over there and realize I was making so many just little mistakes that could have really been bad. That I needed to slow down. My brain was still on US and go, 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 go. You gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do that.
Give us an example.
Give you an example?
Mistakes.
Well, within the first 8 hours, I lost my iPhone. And I never keep my stuff charged. So I lost my iPhone and it was dead. Brand new to this area. I think just drugs. I don't know. I picked it drug free. I don't know. But lost my phone. It was completely dead. I was sleep deprived, so I couldn't figure out even how to get in my building. And I started doing, like, you gotta watch the video, just crazy things. The owner of the building ended up finding my phone. Don't know how. Somebody found my phone outside, turned it into an owner. Mind you, I don't know anybody, don't know the language. I ain't met nobody here, but some nice guy in Colombia who don't even speak anything like me. And it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, found my phone, gave it to my landlord. I literally was outside for 2.5 hours, about to kill myself looking for this phone. So I went in the house and I said, God, you would not do me like this. I got in the shower. I got in the bed. I woke up. I emailed my landlord. I said, I have lost my iPhone. It is brand new. I don't even know how to find my iPhone. I don't even like iPhones. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if by any stroke of a
person at all.
No, see, my phone's about to die again. But I said, if you guys can just help me. They said, we have your phone. And I said, I was like, did you say you had my phone? They said, go outside. Somebody standing at your door. They have your phone.
Wow.
Completely. And say they ain't giving you nothing back. You ain't getting nothing back over here. Somebody will steal from you in your face and tell you, and then help you try to find it and know they got it. You ain't getting nothing back. You would have thought that I learned, right?
Yeah,
you would have thought
even treat immigrants really well. Okay, so it's mixed, right? Well, I would say 80% of Americans treat immigrants right, but if you don't speak English, it's going to be hard to find someone that speaks your language, right? Because this is like a place where most Americans don't speak a second language. So if you speak in another language or you talking about you lost your phone, people probably gonna be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and going about their day. As far as what I meant, like they don't treat them bad, but they gonna go about their day.
Absolutely. He handed me my brand new dead iPhone, no crack, no nothing. You would have thought I
Girl.
lost learning, right? No, I didn't. So I said, well, let me start my day. Let me take me an Uber to Starbucks, have my little laptop, give me some little content. 'Cause at this point, I got my little page, right? I said, oh, okay, I'm sitting at Starbucks. This is a real nice Starbucks. Give me some content, da 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 da. I said, let me walk to the mall. So I packed my stuff up. I leave out of the Starbucks and I said, I can't remember which way the guy told me to go. I don't know if he told me left or right. So I'm like, let me go to the right. I go to the right and then I'm like, no, I don't think this is right. I turn around, turn around and go back. As I am walking back, the man that works in Starbucks speaks no English. I still don't know. This is my 13th, 14th hour in this country. He is literally flagging me down. Your phone. I done left my other phone.
Dear. Ma'am.
I said, I got 3 degrees. I can't keep up with my phones. Why can't I? He was chasing me down saying, your phone. I said, and look at God, because when I Starbucks and went the wrong way, had I went the right way, I would have never turned around to come back to notice that my phone was, you know what I'm saying, was missing. So
he wouldn't have been able to catch you either. He wouldn't have caught you because you would have been long gone. Girl, and that's a great tip for everybody. Like if you are moving to another country, or even if you just traveling, like you need to slow down because, like you said, we don't realize how fast we move as Americans. Ooh.
Slow down. So I'm telling you, it's just slow. I taught my brother has a friend over there, and so I told him. He said, "I'm going to say this like you are my sister. I'm going to need you to slow down." He said, "You have been very fortunate in the last 24 hours to lose both of your phones and get both of your phones back. You need to slow down." And that was the best piece of advice that I got while I was there.
Wow. Girl.
Yeah.
Wow. That's tea. Well, listen, you have given us so many tips.
I left my credit card a couple of places. They paid down for my credit card. Just, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so now that we got the story times and we got some travel tips, where are you now? Or like, are you in Colombia? Like, what's the tea with that?
Okay, so I'm still in Birmingham. Just got to wrap some things up. I need to start getting rid of just furniture, TVs, clothes. I'm in the process, literally. Like if I took you around, I have boxes. I never unpacked my stuff from Colombia. That suitcase is still 1000%. Yeah, I washed my stuff before I got back, and that suitcase has not been touched. Like I'm out of here. I need a reminder daily that today you are out of here. So I never unpack that suitcase. But I'm in the process of literally selling everything. I have a cruise planned at the 15th through the 21st of December, but my official move date will be the 28th of December. So right now I'm scheduled to be in Colombia from December 28th to March 28th, which kind of throws me off a little bit because I initially planned to be in Thailand from January 5th to February 5th. But then coming back and dealing with some stuff here, I'm like, okay, I need to kind of shift everything. But Thailand is still on my 2025 for a month because I want to live in Thailand for a month to see, just kind of compare that to Colombia. But yeah, as of now, I'm just literally packing stuff up and trying to transition and make sure the kids are straight, and my job is gonna be my job. But yeah, just get rid of this place. It's stuff. It's just that I have to get rid of. That's where I am.
Okay. So when you are traveling back and forth, like for example, you're going to be in Colombia and then you have to come back, right? Because you're going to keep your full citizenship here, or what's that's going to be like for you?
So over there, it's you kind of got some wiggle room. So you can do 3 months without any form of a visa. If you go past 3 months, and let's say you go into 6 months, you can do that without a visa. It's when you start getting into 7, 8, 9 months that you either need to do like a digital nomad visa, a, a school visa, which I'm in Spanish classes now. My initial plan was to enroll into a university there and actually go to classes physically, so that I could get a student visa, and then I would just do dual citizenship until I graduated with whatever certificate they would give me for being fluent in Spanish. I don't know that will be how I would do it now, just because my timeline has shifted. The great thing about it is, when it comes to visas, people don't know that, and they don't realize that, let's say I go over there for 5 months and then I come back. That time starts over. You're not starting, when you return, you're not starting back at 5 months. That time starts completely over. So if I've been there for 5 months and 29 days, if I return to the state, when I go back, I'm on day one, not I'm hitting my 6 months. So that's a great way to kind of get around the whole visa thing. If people are like in a situation where they're still trying to figure it out, they don't know if they want to do dual citizenship or give up their citizenship altogether, it starts over the moment you touch down in the States.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. Okay. So now let's talk about your YouTube journey. When did you start your channel, and what type of content do you post on your channel, and even on TikTok? Because you got some funny stories there.
I just say whatever. I don't know what's wrong with me, Scott. I just kind of say whatever sometimes. But I want to say I started January 1. My niece started both of them for me. And I think I kind of explained on my first video why I started. And it was just literally because I wanted to take the world around the world with me. I want people to experience, if they can't experience leaving wherever they are, kind of see the world through my eyes and see just different cultures, experience different things with me for the first time. And that was literally the reason why I started the channel. I had no clue and no concept of the whole monetization thing, none of that, literally until I watched your video. And then once I following, like, you were in your push for, like, you were in some type of 30-day posting every day or something, you was doing one of your things, and I'm like, 90-day thing, and I'm like, hold on, let me follow her, and I like her, she's pretty, let me see what she got going on. Started following you, and I was like, I like her, she's pretty dope. Okay, now I'm gonna start commenting on her things, and that's your 90 days to be monetized. It's really what introduced me into any type of idea of being monetized. I went into it just literally just like, take the world around the world with me. And then I saw your channel and I was like, oh man, ain't nobody told me I could make money. Nobody told me that all these trips I could have been getting packing cube deals from Coach. I'm using Coach. Nobody told me I Coach that I'm using their products. And it wasn't literally until I started watching videos. I'm like, what ain't Tradia? What you been doing?
That's why I'm like, Tradia, if you start to really just get the full understanding of YouTube, and you start to post as much as you travel, and even like your old content, because you can still use like those old videos and do voiceovers and like talk about the trip and talk about the hotel or the resort and give a review, and you already have your travel agent number, you will be traveling for free in no time. I would say give it 3 months of consistency. You will be traveling for free. And that's what 4, 8, 12 videos. Like in like 12 videos, I feel like you would have paid trips for sure, at least as far as like your stay. And I can see even just, that's why I think it's really good, because I can see restaurants in Colombia and things of that nature reaching out to you like, hey, we would love like the promotion. We want more people to come and visit like our restaurant or our resort. Like, girl, you got the tea. It's time to drop.
I never. You just said that. I
Girl, like, please, man, we is waiting for you at the door.
thought
Like,
about you said that. I never even thought plugging. You know what? I don't know if humble is the word, but I'm not really big
yes,
on saying I'm an attorney or I have a master's or I'm an agent.
you
I don't know
hello,
that, so I would never have thought, you know what I'm saying, to plug my agent number in these things. Never. I'd have never. I just like to travel and that's it. Put my hat
yeah,
on and go. Like, yeah.
yeah,
So I never
which is
to
fine,
support
right?
my
Like, that's fine, and that's enough, but travel for free.
facts. I got to do better. I know I have to do better. I know I do. Yeah.
Because
I
this
have
is what
no
you
idea.
really do. Like, this is what you do this for real. Like, you know how
Yeah.
some people like, and I think that's what really sets you apart. And I really look forward to your growth and your journey as a content creator as you share more, because everybody's content is so different. There are a lot of content creators in the travel field or in any niche that aren't like full of all these editing aesthetics and all of that. Like, no, you can still have your same Tradia style of, I'm not interested in all the tech and all the gear. I'm just going to show y'all these reviews. But if you just make the intentionality of, this is a review for this resort, this is a review, 10 things to do in Colombia, 10 places to eat in Colombia, 10 places to eat in Jamaica, if you just make it intentional, a lot of people will rally behind your personality and the fact that you have, like, you simplify things and you're a minimalist. And there are people who exist in that. So that's why I be trying to tell you, like, you don't have to turn into like De'Ara, where her content is 2 hours long and it looks amazing and it's color graded and all of that. No, like, there's an audience out there for everybody. And I know you like to help people, and it's like people will get so much information from what you got to share, because you really do this, and you don't do this for the content or the views or anything. This is just what you do.
Yeah.
Straight up. This is what you do. It's a part of
Yeah.
who you are.
It really is. It really is really a big part of my joy, a big part of my peace, a big part of my
Mm.
happiness. I feel like I am living my life. And I tell people that all the time. Like, people say, what's the biggest thing you learned being in Colombia? And it's, we are all trying to get better jobs, trying to get more money, trying to do XYZ to see if happiness is attainable. And I found out that it is, and it's attainable. I was able to live happily every single day. And it's not like I'm not putting on. I was happy every single day, even losing my phone. I said, God, you wouldn't do me like that. And I went to bed, girl. I went to bed. I got you wouldn't do. I went to bed. I was fine the next day. Emailed them like, listen, I don't know my phone is. Can you help me? So I found out that it's possible. And I think that's something else that I really
Yes.
want to share with everybody, because
Ooh.
a lot of people don't have any hope for happiness. It's like, I'm stuck with these
Yeah.
kids and his husband, his wife, and she on my nerve, and I hate his job, and we stuck, and I just can't be happy. This is my life. And it's not true. It's not true.
Yep.
So
You do is grow up all
1000%,
the young kids out there. Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, I was just saying, all the young kids out there that, you feel like you're stuck in your environment, or you don't have the best parental situation or the best home situation. When you grow up, you have the opportunity to explore and see the world. And like Tradia just said, she didn't even know that she can even reach in another extended feeling of happiness until she traveled and until she fell in love with Colombia. So there's so many outlets to happiness and things that bring us joy, which is why we got to get out of our comfort zone. We got to get out of our hometown, and we need to travel and experience new things and new people. And not every place will make you feel like that, but when you find one of those places that do, like you said, it's like you didn't even know that can even happen, that another place can feel like a home to you, where you're like, I don't even want to leave. So that's beautiful. I'm glad you shared that.
And there's a community. If there's a community that you don't know about, I had no idea the level of people that were just like me, degree professionals who just said, I just want to go. And they've lived in Thailand and China and in Mexico and Bali, and they are currently living in Colombia. Just finding people that relate to you, that support you. There's a network there. There are people that you can learn from and gain experience from. There, I'm sure there's that community everywhere, but you won't know until you
Yes,
try. Know until you go out. You
yes.
won't know until you talk to people. You won't know until you see somebody like Sky and say, "Hey, girl, you so pretty. Well, tell me how to get monetized." You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I challenge everybody. Like it trust yourself, step out there. Happiness
Yes.
is attainable. I lived it. I lived it. I lived it. And I don't know no other way to say it. I've lived it.
Amen. Glory be to God. Like, I love that. I love your journey. I love your story. I love connecting with you again because you just have like just this big personality and funny. And I know y'all didn't get to see it all today because first we wanted to just, bring value and let you guys know who she is so you guys can go on her channel, check her out and see what all she has in store. But when we come back, okay, when we do a collab, whether in person or virtual again, y'all, this girl's personality is up there with mine. I mean, she probably take it above me when it comes to the silliness and the raunchiness and just the fun and just being like a free person. And I think it's a testament to the fact that you live your life on your terms. And I know a lot of times, you probably get this from family and friends too. And they're like, how are you always so happy? Or how do you just, even if things are going, wrong or whatever, like, how do you get back to that place of peace? And it's because you follow and pursue the things that make you happy. You have to be intentional, guys, with everything that you're doing. So, Tradia, thank you for sharing all of this. This was so good. I'm thinking we was gonna come on here and like, be silly and play how we be playing in our group meetings, but I had no idea how much value you have to share with us in the world and women. And I'm so glad that we're building this sisterhood together because I think that we're in a time where women need to be back in connection with each other so that we can nurture, this generation that's coming up because there's a lot missing. There's a lot wrong, but I'm not going to focus on what's wrong. I'm just going to be the right. And we over here being the change we want to see. So is there anything else that you want to share with us today before we get out of here?
No, just thank you for having me. I'm telling you, Sky, you literally, and I'm not just saying, I just like YouTube life, but like you literally changed my life in so many
Oh
ways.
my
You
God,
create
girl.
you've created an environment and literally a community of people that are just like us. And it's amazing. I don't think that I could do so much more, but I don't think I would have done what I've done thus far had I not
Oh,
met you, being a part, selected really to be a part of the crew. And I mean, you are
we
just awesome,
ready.
girl. Like we are going to do big things. I'm so excited for
Yes.
what's in store, collaborations, just the lives to come, and just the crew
Yes.
meetings, and I'm just excited. But I thank you for like even having me and wanting to get to know more about me. And yeah, I'm
Yes.
excited.
Oh, thank you, Tradia. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all of you guys. If you don't know, I have a Facebook group of people who, have found my channel and also are on their own YouTube journey. And there's 12 of us right now, and we connect. We get together virtually as much as we can, and we just share tips. And we talk so much more than just YouTube. We just connect with each other because we all have dreams and passion. And like I said, it's so important to build community. So that's what I'm doing. If you see right now on the comments, her name is Four Shades of Us. She has a YouTube channel with her beautiful family. She's also in our group. Miko tuned in today. ATL Flippers tuned in today. Shout out to everybody that's in our Facebook group. Shout out to all of our subscribers. Again, Tradia's YouTube is in the description box. It's also right there on the comment. And tomorrow I'm going live. I'm going to be interviewed by one of the entrepreneurs that's in our group. So I'm super excited. Thank you, sis, for this opportunity because I'm glad that I had you on my channel. You have inspired me like no other. I can get better with my money. So it's always good to hear what people have done with their money because they were disciplined. And I'm just excited. We are all growing and on different paces, but I know that we're all growing in the right direction and God have us on this path for a reason. So I'm gonna see. Look, we gonna connect again. They gonna get to see more personality, but I think there was so much value that you dropped, and I'm just appreciative, sis. Thank you. Love
People love you too. Thanks for having me.
Yes, and guys, make sure y'all give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to both of our channels. We'll see you in the next video. I'm currently in the middle of a rebrand on the channel, so you're going to see a lot of changes, but I'm connecting with women around the world. It's called Girl Talk. Let's empower each other. Let's level up, and let's just be supportive, genuine people. So I love y'all. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. I have another channel. It's a reaction channel. It's called Sky Reacts TV. Go check it out, and y'all will see me consistently because this my new 9 to 5, because this is what I want to do. So boom, just like that, baby. Love y'all. See y'all tomorrow.
Hey,
All right.